providing proper disclosures. There's currently no reliable way as an investor to know the answers to these important investment questions. Plus, when you sign on the dotted line or accept the terms of service, you are generally agreeing that placing your tokens with these providers may mean transferring your ownership to them. There's an expression in crypto, not your keys, not your crypto. You see, you're basically an investor in their platform. If it goes under, and we've seen plenty of that recently, you end up in line in the bankruptcy court. That's why it's so important that these companies and platforms comply with the securities law. After all, the securities laws, regardless of what you think of stake or staking, they're good for investors.
Couple of steps. The first step is for computers to actually match what humans can do. So we're not there yet. Turing actually has a very good test for it called the Turing test.
Alan Turing, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he defined that in 1950. And we have that in mind.
But just to be clear, so the movie The Imitation Game was basically a profile of his work, especially decoding the Nazi...
Yeah.
What was
the Nazi messages, which was very key. That was actually the third computer that was ever created.
Right, general purpose computer. Okay.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we have Gary Gensler coming down on Kraken staking. And guys, we know he's not finished. This is just the start. Crypto Mom comes out and says that she disagrees. But guys, like I stated, this is all a movie. Remember, the NWO moves in phases. Gary Gensler is the chess piece. Gary Gensler could have did this a year and a half ago. It's not like he's new to the space. We've seen plenty of speeches of him at MIT explaining blockchain and digital assets. But we know he was put there for a reason. And right now, he's just stalling for global regulation and the fourth industrial revolution. And speaking of the fourth industrial revolution, guys, AI is definitely the topic. And as we know, Ray Kurzweil is always talking about nanobots, transhumanism, and the machine takeover. And guys, for some reason, the Nazis always come up. And if you have my New World Order book, you know why. But ChatGPT is just so therefore the masses can play with it. We know IBM Watson has been in place, and then Google has been working on AI. So definitely Microsoft is not ahead of Google. But we're starting to see the NWO plan come together. Phase one was building the economy, and that's the reason why Bitcoin and crypto have stayed under the radar for over 14 years. The masses don't care about Bitcoin and crypto for a reason. We know the NWO does not teach finances. And then we have phase two was a C word, the fear. So then therefore they can move in with phase three, which is the digital transformation, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take over the economy, pay each other with crypto, and phase four, the sheep go inside the metaverse. Since the economy is already built, they're going to get that free money. But little do they know that money is going to be programmable, telling them what, where, and when and how to buy. CBDCs and stable coins airdrop. But they have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And they'll be in the metaverse getting downloaded, being controlled like a remote. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows transhumanism is right around the corner. And he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Off this week announcing a new version of its Bing search engine powered by artificial intelligence software from OpenAI. So the big question is, will the company behind ChatGPT help Microsoft dethrone Google search? John Ford, who is in Seattle this week, is here with us now at the table to answer the question.
Yes, Andrew. I think there's a good chance it will help Microsoft beat Google in search. I did fly out to Seattle this week, interviewed Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella about this, and I've gotten access to the Bing preview. It's good. The searches are uncovering information about things like company financial performance faster and in more detail than I've ever seen in search. So what this means is we're seeing the first serious assault on Google's core product and business model. For this to work, Microsoft doesn't even have to steal all of Google's users overnight. It just has to peel away a couple of percentage points worth of search share. Every point of share is worth a couple $1 billion. So what about Google's response? Google has AI too. Can't they just catch up? Here's why that's not as easy as it sounds. To hear Nadella tell it, Microsoft has spent the past 3 years customizing Azure, its cloud platform, to run the kinds of jobs ChatGPT demands. Google needs to configure and test the cloud resources to do that, which requires that they get people using it, spend a bunch of money. And it's not just about building AI. Google also has to get other companies building on top of it, too. Microsoft has a head start and a hugely profitable search business to attack, Andrew.
So Google has more than 80%, I think now, of global search currently, just where we are. So then the question is, can Microsoft actually topple them all of a sudden?
Well, on the other hand, Andrew, I mean, no. There's almost zero chance Microsoft beats Google in search with AI. It's just rare to see that kind of dramatic shift in a technology market unless the incumbent implodes. For example, Apple's iPhone was able to beat RIM and Nokia because they fundamentally misunderstood the potential of the multi-touch smartphone. They were laughing at it at first. But even with its formidable design prowess, Apple and its Macs and iPad haven't displaced Windows PCs. Meanwhile, today, Google probably won't have an easy time matching Microsoft in AI for search, but that doesn't mean the masses are going to switch to Bing. Google spent the last 15 years digging a moat around its search business. Apple devices default to Google for search. So does the popular Chrome browser. So do Android phones. This network of Google services and platforms are like a Star Wars tractor beam pulling users back into Google search. In other words, it's not enough for Microsoft to have a more competitive search product. Nadella and his team are going to have to build on-ramps to Bing for Microsoft's most popular services, and that would take a while. At this point, a bet on Google losing significant search share is a bet that Google's going to blunder its way into the AI race for the next couple of years, both failing to improve its Bard competitor and losing the power of its tractor beams. Not going to happen.
A high end of, for example, a computer can sit down and play 1 billion games of chess easily and remember everything. No human could ever do that. So a computer can eventually figure out how to be better at chess. So it's following algorithms, it's following little procedures. The trouble is it doesn't have the humanness of the feelings and the emotion that are a lot of part of our...
Is that possible? Love? Is it possible to eventually generate some type of higher functioning like something like love in a machine? Do you think it's possible?
After the book Singularity came out, saying when computers would do as much processing with as much memory, Kurzweil, and I loved his later books too.
I'm hopeful for that, that I'm alive so we can be happy.
But I was convinced that yes, by a certain date we were going to have computers that had emotions and feelings and could look at your facial expression and read your face and your body positioning and everything, and they were going to be like humans. And Bill Gates came in a couple of years later, and Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking saying similar things. And I said, I'm in good company. And then I decided to change my mind, that all this artificial intelligence type stuff, computers being kind of smart, doing the smartest jobs, doing things you used to do with a brain, all of those were really only going to be doing things that helped humans. And we would still be in control of that. It wouldn't be a machine thinking, what should I do today? See, they aren't going to have that kind of intuition. We're going to program them specifically to solve individual problems, but not the whole life. I mean, look at a car. You're driving along and the car sees the speed limit signs. But if they put one up that has some flashing digits so they can change the speed, it doesn't have any idea what the heck that is.
Kurzweil said the quantum advances are becoming shorter and shorter, and once we have machine learning is a million times everything humans have learned, that's the singularity. But think how long it took a human the brain to develop. 4 billion years.
I don't buy that anymore, though.
But 4 billion years, we're not going to do it even if it's 10,000 years.
Yeah, but a machine would have to sit down and say, well, what can I do to figure out a way to program myself to be better? So you don't think it ever happens?
What changed your mind?
It was largely a statement by a son of mine that is more brilliant than I, that I respect a lot. And I started thinking about it, and I decided, that's right. All this artificial intelligence is helping we humans have something that takes us further. But it's we're going to have errors too in all these algorithm things. It's like a car can be so smart to do some things. Man, it makes mistakes all the time. I'm talking about my Tesla, and it's a horrible, frightening experience. So what's going to happen with ChatGPT when it makes a few errors, which it will? It's not like a human who sort of recognizes that can't be right. That's not what we really want to communicate. It's going to become part of history that the other ChatGPT study. They're going to know it all. It's on the internet. And it's kind of like when media gets something wrong about you. Right. And if it's a major media like Wall Street Journal, every book and every magazine winds up copying the same story for your whole life.
Kids forget how to learn how to.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.